Most Americans agree that the government is satanic, but let's look at it in a way that everyone can agree and that forces them to see that I'm telling the truth. First of all, the idea of a corporation predates America by a whole lot. Okay. Corpus means body. That's part of why they control the diet, right? Diet and deity, right? These words are connected. These ideas are connected. Diet and exercise, and to exercise or exorcise a demon, right? When we exercise, we start feeling better. The brain starts rewiring, circulating blood to the brain is what my doctor father used to say. Okay, so corpus, meaning body, from corporation, a body of people. Also, literally the bodies, the Vertuvian man, the art, the sculptures of the gods who were based on wealthy family lines. So the sculptures and the depictions of gods often changed. Okay, these were family lines. People claimed descent from them, and their children looked different, and they would sculpt them as that new person, okay, or whoever took over the cult. So corporations, historically, the idea, the Western idea, was that they controlled the government. Okay, obviously I don't like talking like this. It has to do with their corporate base, and we'll get to that shortly. Okay, my dad is from Nigeria. He's not from an American frat family. He's not from a Nigerian social club or frat. He's from a martial art family, royal warrior family, but it's really martial arts because there's a stronger emphasis on spirituality than there is on combat skills. So it goes beyond the idea of a warrior. Okay, the emphasis is so great there, and the root of all Eastern martial arts are, and martial arts in the world are really African martial arts. So the source and the force, like if you look at it in terms of the Jedi, use the force, right? Use the source, okay? Or else you're not doing nothing else. So the source of martial arts is what people might describe African warriors, but it's really these wise African martial art royal family guys. And my family used to build the rings lattice. So this is part of why I'm targeted. It's a no-brainer. It's a clash of culture, and it's one that is unfair because America said it's the land of the free. You have the freedom to express yourself, but you don't. We'll get to that momentarily. So the states historically were controlled by corporations. The senators were powerful guys because of their network of corpus, again, a body of people, and they were the government. And then they also funded cults, sex cults especially, and which basically all cults were, and the guilds, okay, and various groups and soldiers and so on and so forth, kind of like you have the unions and things like that. So the corporate state, okay, the state of mind, the state of being, the state of one's body, the state of one's house. These ideas are connected. This is part of the greater structure and the greater culture. These are no-brain things, not up for debate, straightforward. So now that we've established that corporations, historically, for hundreds and hundreds of years, as the word corporation was used by Justinian in like 500 AD in Rome or something, and it existed in some form before that. So for a long time, they have controlled the state. Bodies of people, democracy, demos, people, the rule of the people, and corporations organize people and political parties, okay? And so corporations run the government, they run all political parties, okay? All law enforcement agencies, all government workers, historically. And they're very influential. So if somebody springs up in their own small startup company and they're at odds with a big corporation, who do you think will win? So they have to play by the rules. And then there's corporate partnerships, transnational corporations, conglomerates, huge groups of corporate partners. A lot of times they're the same race, and so on and so forth. Okay, and different families own different corporations, and they group together. Excuse me, the same family owns different corporations, and they group together. Okay, very common, no-brainer. Doesn't take a genius to see that some rich bitch says, hey, I'm going to fund you, and you have your own corporation. And then they partner up, and you can sell my corporation stuff, and then your family, marry this other rich family. And it's favoritism, it's nepotism, it's family line dominance. So when people say the Illuminati, it's a way of making it conspiracy theory when it's just how things work. There's powerful family lines. They're called old money in sociology and psychology and so on and so forth, and the various social sciences. All right, so when we look at the social club factor, so there's these corporations, okay, and this predominantly white society that is historically racist, and there's still powerful movements for racism and supposedly against racism, which are really controlled opposition. We'll get into that momentarily. So of the social clubs, the Freemasons are probably the bill that rings the loudest, as there's said to be about 2 million Freemasons, I've read in one estimate, in North America alone. 2 million, okay? This is no small group of Boy Scouts with dreams. These are like the who's of the social clubs. George Washington and Benjamin Franklin were said to be Freemasons. So this is a solid example of where corporations, social clubs, and the government and the philosophies and the cultures overlap. Benjamin Franklin was the one who said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And this has affected the culture, and various sayings and activities they do affects the culture. Okay. So then we have the Greek societies. Okay. Greek rhymes with geek for a reason. Everyone knows that the Greek societies are nerdy. The depictions of Greeks, like this Euro restaurant that came out, it's like Savankis or something like this. Okay, they have cartoon depictions. The animation characters are geeks. Bugs Bunny is a geek. Daffy Duck, Babs Bunny, okay, etc. Okay, Goofy, okay, Scooby-Doo, different animations and cartoons. Mickey Mouse, they're on some geek-ass bitch shit. So when you look at the geek and the Greek and the Greco-Roman, you see that it is really geeks in corporations that rule things. Look at Bill Gates, look at Elon Musk, look at Warren Buffett, look at Bezos. Are they geeks? Are they dweebs? Are they nerds? Are they dorks? Yes. Are they trying to sell you the idea that they are ideal? Yes, because that is historically Western culture and other cultures as well, except for they're basically non-martial cultures. Where the Igbos had martial cultures that dominated things, like the Leopard Society, okay, Eku Meku, okay, and eventually a bunch of trade route bitches would challenge their power more and more until these martial cultures no longer dominated the culture. Okay, that's the difference between my royal family martial art line, which some would say is a relic from the past because they're bitch ass geeks, okay, and a bunch of bitch ass fucking geeks coming together with wigs and muskets and evolving that into tanks and guns and saying that their geek science is more important than being a man and being a martial artist, that being a geek with science and lifting weights at the gym and, you know, posing with a weird cartoon look on your face, okay, and that's part of why they try to make me look weird. They try to confuse you about this, okay? They know that they're going to pretty much they can see my point in popular culture with movies like Shaka Zulu, The Last Samurai, and the Black Panther being a kind of nerd twist on African leopard martial arts, okay? So they try to make it seem like I'm not who I say I am. But if you look at my body structure carefully, you can see the difference even now, even after all the poisoning and flapping of a kind of, you know, fast striking, surgical striking arm, okay? And the strength of the Nigerian. So I'm faster than the Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan before I was poisoned, and I have the strength of a big Nigerian. Okay, and that comes with focused moral intensity. How many of these geeks you see talk about this thing? Geeks simply don't bring your attention to this idea. They simply aren't Nigerians bringing this attention to this idea. And a lot of Nigerians are frat-like people. They're gay-faced people these days because they're trying to kiss the ass of the corporation so they can be successful. And that goes back to an ancient disagreement between the martial artists who are willing to die for God and the Nigerians, in Nigeria, and the Nigerians who kiss the ass of the women and the trade route people so they can be successful. Their idea of being a man is providing, scrambled, okay, providing material. My idea is providing the spirit and providing, giving God your heart and your all. Okay, so there's a big kind of gap. So now I'm almost out of time, so let's just shoot through this. So celebrities, celebrity, it's right there in the word. Are celebrities British? Now some of you are going to sit there and say, no, of course they're not. Well, they're British, okay? So we look at the royal family of the UK, or the main one. There's royal families, Harry, William, Queen Elizabeth, Meghan Markle, and so on and so forth, okay? We look at James Bond, Sherlock Holmes, okay? These were famous movies, very popular in America, okay? Very popular. Now look at the British kink, the British porn. Are they kind of kinky, kind of British cult-like celebrities? Was Aleister Crowley, who was very popular in Hollywood, was he a British agent, intelligence agencies? Yes. So you see these things all overlap. So why is this happening to me? Because a bunch of bitch-ass geeks who are like the Greek society and the Greeks, Zeus, who is Baal, okay? It's even mentioned in the Bible, Baal worship. Want you to believe they're ideal and want you to believe that I'm fucking crazy and that I need to be on meds in a psych ward where they can drug me and put me in a coma or something, or coma-like state, and rape me in the ass every fucking day. Because they are historically gay motherfuckers. Look up pederasty, okay? And they're historically have no respect for God, no respect for morals. Look up Neoplatonism, okay? Look up Plato and the Republic and eugenics and the 12 Tables of Rome and so on and so forth. A British guy, Francis Galton, coined the term eugenics. America and Germany were very active, the most prolific eugenicists, perhaps. But this is the fact of the matter. The British also colonized Nigeria, India, America, the Irish and the Scottish, and all these people, and they all despised them like they despised the other colonists. So the people who were the most guilty, okay, and the international bankers like the Rothschilds and the groups that are more like them, whatever Zionists and movements that they're funding these days, and groups, and how this overlaps, corporation. So how do we know them most of the time? Is by their body, okay? And Set is said to have various body types. One of them is like Bill Gates. One of them is like is Weinstein. One of them is basically all the non-African martial art warrior types. The one they're not martial art warrior types are the ones that are associated with Set. Okay, and it's a long story why that is. And we talk about tall King A bouts, so the tall skinny guy like Ichabod Crane, like Harry and William. He said his head to have red hair. One of these guys has reddish orange hair. It's basically called being a redhead. You can figure it out from there.